As we celebrate 100 years of the Marshall Clinic, it's an incredible honor to carry that legacy forward and to lead our practice into its next chapter as Wholehearted Dental. To me, being a great dentist isn't a destination, it's a commitment. Over the years, I've come to appreciate that every case is different. Some days bring perfect results, others bring unexpected challenges, even when we've done everything right. The very best clinicians are not defined by a single outcome. They're defined by their consistency, humility, and relentless effort to improve. That's what wholehearted care means to me. It means showing up with the same presence and intention, whether it's the first time an anxious patient sits in my chair or the 100th. It means making every effort to ensure even the smallest detail, like a comfortable injection, are done with care. It means never coasting and never cutting corners. Wholehearted care is when patients tell us they feel safe, understood, and fully cared for. It's when they trust that we'll always do what's right and do it with our whole heart.
When I took over the clinic from my father in 1996, I knew I was inheriting something special. It had always been a very behaviorally grounded practice with preclinical interviews and spending time to get to know people before you took them into the clinic. But I also felt a deep responsibility to grow my skills, to get competent enough, talented enough to be able to provide the standard of care that I felt had always been delivered by my dad, my grandfather, and my uncle. Over the years, we've expanded our services, adopted new technologies like CBCT and CEREC, and refined our clinical approach through training at places like the Pankey Institute and, for the past 15 years, the Choi Center. But at the heart of it, what mattered most was how we treated people. I've always believed that dentistry isn't about procedures, it's about people who put themselves in our hands to take the best care of them that we possibly can. I learned to meet patients where they are, to walk alongside them at their pace. This philosophy guided me through every case, every conversation, every decision. In 2015, I met Matthew, and right away I could see that he shared the same mindset. He'd been doing event-driven dentistry, and he was more interested in helping people get healthy and better over the long term. He wasn't just clinically skilled, he cared deeply, and he listened. Over time, he's become a colleague, a partner, and a friend. But what stood out most about Matthew was his quiet integrity. He took ownership from the beginning, communicated with clarity, and like me, he consistently reached out to both patients and specialists to ensure everyone was on the same page and truly cared for. In 2017, we became partners, and together we've nurtured the culture, grown the team, and stayed rooted in what makes this clinic unique. I'm proud of what we've built, and I have complete confidence in where Matthew will take it next. And now we begin a new chapter.
My journey with the Marshall Clinic began long before I ever picked up a dental instrument. It is exciting to me to see that the Marshall practice has existed for 100 years. My father, Leslie Marshall, began the practice in 1925. I was part of it for 52 years, 15 with my father, 5 with brother James, 16 associated with Bob Munn, 7 associated with Jim Jameson, and 13 with son Bruce. I grew up watching my father care for patients with quiet dedication. When I joined him in practice in 1954, I saw firsthand how dentistry could build relationships that lasted decades, even across generations. Our goal was never just clinical excellence. It was about caring for people. The development of the skill and wisdom that contributed to the excellence was a constant search throughout my practice years. When I took over my practice from my father in 1969, we had developed it to a level where patient satisfaction had thrived from the way that he and I kept focus on what is best for the patient. Careful and constant preoperative communication was and is essential to that. When my son Bruce joined the practice in 1992, I knew that he would enhance and elevate the level of caring and excellence. Bruce took over the practice from me in 1996, exceeded my expectations, and continues to further develop the level of excellence. I retired in 2005, knowing that the practice would thrive. And now, on to Matthew, who I know will continue with the focus of the Marshall Clinic, with his excellent skills, and focus on the best for the patient.
While our name is changing, the people and the purpose behind it remain the same. I've been fortunate to work alongside Bruce for the past 9 years, 7 of those as a partner in the clinic. And what hasn't changed, and never will, is the philosophy behind it all: to treat every person with integrity and to care for them as we would our own. This is Wholehearted Dental, and I'm honored to carry this vision forward with you by our side.